I took 20 at one time when my sister died. So I've been really lucky. I've been blessed. I honestly, I don't think I should be here today.
How'd you get off of them?
Okay. Well, what happened was I left the WWE because they wanted me to go to rehab. I didn't want to go. So I ended up going to another company called Impact Wrestling. And I got my painkiller problem under control there because I found a doctor that got me on MS Contin. There are two morphine pills. They're very tiny, but they'll keep you from going through withdrawal. So I would take one in the morning, one at night, and no more painkillers. They were painkillers because they were morphine, but they were high dose. It was just two of them that I had to take. Well, I started having anxiety about breaking my neck over and over again, so they put me on Xanax.
Oh, jeez.
So now I'm taking Xanax. And then I switched to TNA, Impact Wrestling, and everybody drank there, so I started drinking alcohol. So I'm mixing, having these cocktails, and I'm so out of control that I'm driving, okay, from town to town, drinking a 12-pack of beer, and I got 4 DUIs in 5 years.
Oh,
I lost my reputation, everything I worked for. I was at the lowest point in my life, and I remember calling my wife from jail after my 4th DUI, and she said, "Listen, I can't do this anymore. You either go to rehab or I'm taking the kids and I'm leaving." And so I went to rehab because I didn't want to lose my wife and my kids. And I was scared in rehab. I literally thought, I was so nervous. First of all, the withdrawal was the worst experience I ever had. I'll never go through that again because I'm never going to take another painkiller. That was the worst thing I've ever done, or drink another drop of alcohol. That was the absolute worst thing I've ever been through. And I forget what I was going to say, though, but...
So with the rehab, how do they get you off of it? They don't do it cold turkey, right?
They...
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
Do they?
Yes, they do. I thought they were going to wean me off.
Yeah,
No.
that's what I thought too.
They put you in a room and let you sleep, and they check on you every couple hours. And it
How
took
many
me
days?
about 6 days for me to go through the withdrawal symptoms.
Oh my
It
God.
seemed like forever. It seemed
So
like
6
6
days,
months.
you just in a room by yourself.
Yeah,
Just thinking.
yeah.
Oh,
And you know
God.
what? And you want to stay in there. And they start forcing you out. You got to come move around. You got to come out and talk to people. You got to live your life. And you're so exhausted. For the first 2.5 weeks, I didn't want to move. I just wanted to stay in my bed.
Wow.
But they were forcing me to get out of bed and be in converse or conversating with people and trying to go and eat and go to meetings and do all that stuff you do in rehab. So it was really tough.
How long did it take?
Well, I would say 2 weeks where I really felt normal. But the thing is, the last 2 weeks, because I spent a month in rehab, the last 2 weeks, I was so nervous that I was going to fuck up again. Like, I literally didn't want to leave rehab. I was scared that I was going to go back to it right when I got out.
So many guys do. It's so
That's
crazy.
why, like, I hear all these stories, and I'm like, oh, it's going to happen to you too, man. And but the one thing that I kept going across in my mind was going through withdrawal. I don't want to do that again, and I know if I start taking them, I'm going to have to experience that again, and I don't want to.
It was that bad.
It was that bad.
What is it like? Like, what does withdrawal feel like?
Okay, you're sweating because you're hot and you're cold at the same time. You're shitting your pants. You're throwing up. You can't think straight. Your body's shaking. You're getting hot sweats, cold sweats. You feel like you don't have anything inside of you. No insides, no organs, nothing. You feel like you're hollow. It's just the craziest thing. It's the most painful thing I've ever gone through. And, I'm sure people have been in a lot more pain than that with certain things they've had done to themselves. But for me, that was the worst.
What's crazy is when you think about how mentally strong you are, how difficult it is for you to go through that. Now, think of the average person. Have you seen that Painkiller show on Netflix?
I watched some of it, yeah.
Fucking what they did to this country is so crazy.
Oh, I know. They're advertising it. Hey, this is the best drug since whatever, and this will keep you, keep you moving every day and give you a healthy lifestyle. Meanwhile, they didn't tell you that they're opiates and they're addictive
Yeah.
and that they could kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one to start and the one to stay with. What was the slogan that they used, Jamie? Do you remember? We talked to Peter Berg, who made that show. Mm-hmm. And he had to do a lot of research on the Sackler family and what they did and how they engineered this and how they knew that. People weren't just taking painkillers back then. It wasn't a normal thing.
Right.
Like when I was a kid, we talked about this. When I was a kid, for someone to take heroin was crazy. When you found out someone was taking heroin, you're like, Jesus Christ, Mike's taking heroin?
Right.
But when those pills came around, because it was prescribed by a doctor, everybody's like, it's fine. It's okay.
I thought it was too. I said, this is legal. My doctor's giving it to me. This is what I need. But I knew, after I started taking more than 4 and I was taking 5, 6, 7, 8, I knew I wasn't doing the right thing. I knew that I was going against what the doctors wanted. Because you know what I would do? I had 12 doctors that I was calling.
Oh.
Okay, so, and I had 12 different pharmacies because you can't go to the same pharmacy twice in 1 month.
Oh, my God.
Okay, and I had a Mexican contact where I got them illegally. So I was getting about 2,700 pills a month.
Oh, my God.
That is that.
Oh,
and
my
you know what? That's all you
God.
think about. That's all you think about is how you're going to get your drug the next time. So I have this calendar, and every day it tells me which doctor to contact or contact your Mexican contact down in Mexico. So I have all these things set up so that I can get what I need, and it takes over your life. You no longer live in your life. Your marriage is, you're not worried about your marriage, your kids, your job, nothing. You're just worried about how you're going to get the drugs.
God. So crazy. And it's so crazy that this didn't exist. This didn't exist in America till, a couple decades ago?
Yeah.
When it started?
Yeah. Now, who's the people that...
The Sackler family.
Okay, they affiliate with Purdue or...
Yes.
Okay.
Purdue Pharma. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the story from the documentary is sensational. The series on Netflix is sensational. And it just shows how fucking evil those people were.
I wonder if they actually knew the dangers that were involved when they first started.
It seems like they knew.
They did?
It seems like they knew a lot. They absolutely knew it was addictive. That's why the FDA wouldn't approve it. And then they took this guy. There was one guy from the FDA that approved it. And this guy would not approve it. He was like, this is heroin. Like, I'm not going to approve this.
Right.
And then they took this guy and they took him to a fucking hotel. And they had him in a hotel for 2 days. I don't know what they did. Like, no one knows what they did in this hotel for 2 days. But after the 2 days, he came out, and instead of saying it's non-addictive, for the first time ever, they said it is believed to not be addictive.
Wow. They
What
said
is
the
like,
opposite.
Yeah.
Somebody said it.
Yeah.
Like, somebody believes it. Do you believe it?
like
Yeah, I don't
believing
think
in-
it's addictive. Okay, it's believed to not be addictive.